How do you actually beat procrastination? In this video, I want to cover 5 keys that have really helped me to overcome this. All right, the first thing is you have to enroll yourself back into your vision. All right, so there's a reason why you signed up to do the task in the first place, whether it's for school or work project or whatever it was. What was the reason that you decided to do that? Because when we don't feel like doing something, but we've said we're going to do it, there's probably a reason at a deeper level that we signed up to do it in the first place. And it really begs the question, like, do you actually need to be doing this thing that you don't want to be doing? The answer is probably yes, otherwise you wouldn't have signed up for it. But that's the first thing. It's just to remember your why. Like, why did I sign up for this thing? Oh yeah, because I want to grow in this area and do this and that's the first point. Now the second point to really beat procrastination is make your first draft suck. Right? It's going to sound a bit funny, but part of the reason why you're probably putting things off, and I know speaking for myself, you're putting off that work thing or putting off that school project or whatever because it's like I want it to be really good, but I don't want to do it, and it's just it's going to be bad, and then by not doing it, you're not doing it. Think of it like a race, right? You're starting here and you want to get to the end of the race. Now, you can take some steps forward, and even though it's not at the finish line, you're still taking steps forward, right? But if you don't do anything, you're almost that's the only position where you're guaranteeing yourself to not move forward. So to make it suck, it's kind of takes the pressure off where it's like, okay, it's kind of gonna suck the first draft, but because you expect that, you feel good about yourself. And once you get going, once you get moving, you've got the momentum. So that's the second thing, take the pressure off, and it's okay and make the first draft suck. Now, the third point is the 2 minute rule, right? So what is the 2 minute rule? The 2 minute rule is basically telling yourself, I'm going to sit down and just do this for 2 minutes, right? And at the end of 2 minutes, if I don't want to keep going, then you can stop. No problem, right? Now, the reason this is helpful is because you're going to sit down, you're going to open up your document, you're going to open up Google, whatever you need, and then in an ideal world, you start getting a little bit of momentum. And if you take one step, you're going to be like, oh, well, I might as well take the second step, and then take the second step, and then take the next step, and you just kind of keep going from there. And kind of similar to the second point, but it just takes the pressure off completely. Where you take one step forward, and it's like it's gonna suck. It's just 2 minutes. I can just do 2 minutes. You start writing, and next thing you know, you've got progress, right? Now, the fourth thing that has really helped me is having a fake due date. So back in high school, I was some of like my friends would know me as doing my school assignments and projects the night before or the weekend before. And why was that? I had the project for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or even longer sometimes, but I wouldn't do it until just before. I don't know if you can relate to that. Maybe that's why you're watching this video. But something to do is to give yourself a fake due date. Instead of having it when it's actually due, set the due date for tomorrow or Friday nights or by the end of the weekend and say, I just got to have it done by then. And by doing that, you're going to force yourself to pick up that urgency and actually start doing, what you need to be doing. And again, if you take off the fear of failing, you just kind of get started. Next thing you know, you're gonna have something kind of done, and you're gonna feel the momentum with that. Now, the fifth point I want to give is your willpower tank. So, what is your willpower tank? So basically, your willpower is finite. Like you've only got so much willpower to give throughout your day. So if you leave things in the day, like big decisions and important kind of mental tasks, till a point in your day where you feel tired, say mid-afternoon onwards, it's just going to be harder to climb up a hill that it's already hard. So what I would suggest, and what's been helpful for me, is when there's been things where you really just need willpower to get started. You want to do that in the time of the day that best suits you. Now, for me, that's like in the morning straight away. So I feel I can be really productive, particularly early in the morning, and that's when I feel the freshest. That's when I feel ready to go. Now, for some other people, it might be at a different point in the day. Maybe you've Those different. It's in terms of your different timing, but basically you want to obviously be starting something when you're freshest, because if you don't want to be doing it when you're fresh, if you're not fresh, it's going to be that much harder, obviously. So there's some of my tips on beating procrastination. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this video because you're procrastinating on something, and if so, what? But I hope that's not you. Hope no one comments that. But let me know how these points landed with you. Hope it helps.